They apparently I went into the wrong account to start this show. It's already that type of a day. It must be because I'm so damn pissed. Like, oh my god. Da-da-da. Literally, I'm so damn pissed. I went into my own account.
We noticed. I'm like, wait, girl. Girl, you're in a different account.
I'm like, hold on. How am I requesting myself?
Oh, that's all right, girl.
Listen, I got sent something before the show that is going to relate to the show that I think I was just so pissed about that I ended up like, today's going to be a show. I don't even have my notes. I'm sitting in a new place because I couldn't even be comfortable in my regular chair that I'm in because I'm like, I'm ready for this show. Like, I am channeling my Malcolm X, Angela Davis, Asafa Shakur, okay, today. Okay, like,
Girl.
I am on 1 million today. That's how mad I am.
Yeah, there's so many levels to this topic.
I do have the notes up, just in case.
Yeah,
Thank you, because my laptop, I don't even want to get up. So,
yeah.
So, the name of today's show. Okay.
So, where does one begin?
Yeah.
Well,
So let's start with the name. So the name of today's show is Can't Breathe,
we
Can't
talk.
Jog, Can't Live when being black is a crime.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to start with naming out some names.
Yes.
And ladies, you will help me because I'm going to start with Eric Gardner.
I will contribute Sandra Bland.
I'm going to say, Trayvon Martin, yo.
Philando Castile.
Ahmaud Arbery.
Tamir Rice.
Poor little baby who got shot for having his tongue out. Freddie Gray.
Lord Jesus.
You're saying Freddie Gray? Okay, I'm going to say Botham Sean.
I am saying, Alton Sterling.
And we could go on.
And on.
And on. And on.
Yes.
And on. But we're going to stop there. And we name these names because these are black men and black women who were killed for no other reason than being black. I can't name any other reason because a man sitting in his home having ice cream,
minding his own business. Minding his own business, probably eating his favorite ice cream, enjoying the fact that he's finished a hard day of work and he just wants to relax and eat his little dessert. Unarmed. Goes to do what everyone does.
Well,
they hear someone at their door.
He is just another American paying his taxes, going to work every day, working hard, and trying to relax after work.
He goes to his door to do what every human being does. You open your door and you're shot.
Girl, he didn't even open his door. He was sitting on his couch. She broke in and said, I thought I was in my own apartment. But speaking of breaking in. So the breaking news. You guys know Shannon Brown. You guys are my fellow ball girls.
Yes.
So Shannon Brown got arrested.
Yes.
You want to know why Shannon Brown got arrested, right?
Two intruders broke into his house. And his gun, which is registered
to him,
not illegal for him to have a gun. He shot at people breaking into his house, and then they arrested him
because he's black. And black people don't have houses. And two white men who broke in, well, the house has to be the two white men. Why would a black person have a house? It's just, this is just like, this is the longest broken record of, this is like an annoying song that won't stop playing. No matter how many times you try to hit the stop button, it won't stop. This is what this whole thing is. It's like, how many more names have to be added to an already incredibly long list, known and unknown? How many more? Like, when is it?
I think this is the first show where I might sit silent for most of it because I am so angry.
So I do have an answer to that question, but maybe that will be later in the show.
Girl.
But I'll say this. I'll start with the questions because for me, I sympathize today, first of all. Happy Mother's Day to everyone that's trying to be a mom. To Shiva, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to our mom, to all the moms out there that are working hard, doing what they do. Happy Mother's Day to poor Ahmad's mom. I feel for you. We are here for you, and we are out here doing what we can to make sure that these murderers that lynched your son get the punishment they deserve. So
start with the question, girl.
My question now
got an
is,
answer.
based upon that, how are white people raising their children? And the reason why I think this question's important is because there's obviously some sort of missing piece here. Like, people just don't wake up one day and say, I'm racist.
No, you're right. Children aren't born racist.
They're not.
They're taught something along the line.
You know, this is something embedded. You know, science has proven, and you know that between the ages of 0 and 7, this is when those primary pieces of intelligence, pieces of knowledge come into a child. So at some point between the age of 0 and 7, this child was taught something that has nurtured them into either
a full-fledged racist.
Exactly. Yep. So, how are white people raising their children?
I wish I knew.
Like,
I'm not white, so I
know.
I wish I knew though.
I do question.
I think it's a valid. I would like to know because what conversations are you having at home? Because this is where it is starting. It's the conversations you have at home. And I put something up that offended a lot of people, and I don't really care about offending people. It's just I say what I say. My daughter says I need a, I put up, and I'm going to say it straight. I said, it was almost the exact quote, like, you can't, love black dick, yet stay silent on black
issues. How is
that
offensive? How's that offensive?
And let me be clear. I'm not just talking about the others. I'm talking about black women as well, who stay silent on issues related to black men because they're afraid of their brands, okay? And what it might do to your brands. And I'm not saying that speaking out on social media is the only way to speak out. So I say that to say, I have a very, my mentor is white. We've talked about my mentor before. And I remember having a conversation with him, and I was very clear. I said, it's not what you say when I'm in the room. Right. It's what you say when I'm not.
That's it. That's it.
You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I don't need you going up on, on social media with Wakanda's Forever and doing all of that. But if you are really not going to back it up when I'm not viewing. Absolutely. When I'm not a part of the viewing audience, are you still going to sit with your white counterpart, your Asian counterparts, your Latin counterparts, all of that? Because it's not only the white people that are against us. There are other people, as we talked about in our last topic.
Where Latinos are attacking black men for not wearing a mask and putting their foot on their necks.
Yeah, I
think so. We're under attack by everyone. So the question is, what are you saying and doing when I'm no longer watching? Goes to Garcia's question. So how are you raising your kids to think of me as a person? Because if you are raising your kids to think of me as an inferior person, therefore they will go out into the world and act in manners that say, well, you are less than human, and so I can treat you as such. So a man can go jogging where there were no burglaries, by the way. There were no burglaries in the last 2 months. 2 months. 2 months before this incident happened, there were no reports of burglary. So they damn well knew that this man was not running away because he had committed a burglary. So let's just be clear. So he was jogging in a neighborhood, right?
He just crossed their truck. And then, okay, whatever, man. If you feel so threatened, don't call the police. That's what they normally do. Why are you taking matters into your own?
No, because apparently, just like with our George Zimmerman, who lives in an open carry state, because Florida and Georgia, I'm not even American, I tell you this, these are open carry states. If you feel threatened, it's okay to call the police, apparently, and then make a citizen's arrest by hunting people down because they don't look like they belong where you belong.
You know what, like, and also along foundation has a lot to do with why these things happen. And I mean, I have, you know, friends in different nationalities of different communities, and I watch to see how they raise their kids. And you can tell that there are people out there that are doing truthfully what they can to make sure that their children grow and know that this person is no less than you. That person is very smart. People that look like this are fine. But then we do have people that are not going, they're not going out of their way to teach their children the right way. They're not teaching their children about global love. They're not teaching their children about acceptance. They're not teaching their children about understand, don't fear, understand. They're not teaching their children this stuff. Also, unfortunately, America, and I think maybe some people got offended in some chat that I put, I put in a Facebook chat that I was like, you know what can we expect of a country that is literally entrenched in the DNA of
racism and slavery?
Yeah, we built the country.
White supremacy
and they built it off of
the
our
foundation.
blood.
I mean, it is the foundation of America specifically. And then people said,
oh,
but Canada. I'm like, yes, but Canada is not the poster child of racism. America is.
Yeah.
I love the poster child.
Right now, what's the most racist country in the world?
They'll probably say America. Actually, they will say America.
They're going to say America, because America has, it's in their history. This is the reason why guns exist. This is the reason why we won't let go of us. For instance, in Canada, if you had a rifle in your truck and you even took it and shot it in the air, you would immediately be arrested.
Absolute.
Because in Canada, it don't go down like that.
No.
However, in America, you can have a big ass rifle, AK, in your car and drive around and shoot at people. And the
DA, let's talk about that.
We need to get rid of.
That DA's got to go.
That's got to go. People need to call into that county and ask for her resignation.
Got to go. She has got to go today.
I cannot let you go on without talking about that for a second. So let's talk about the people who want to open up America. Okay? Because coronavirus is fake. They want to open up America, blah, blah, blah. I won't even get into that today. However, these citizens of America, these law-abiding citizens of America, decided to go into public government places with rifles attached to them. Now, let me be clear. These white people decided to go into these government offices with rifles and gun on their hips, while the police looked at them and ushered them in, helped them, because they want to open the economy, because apparently an economy can strive when people are dying, because you do realize you need people alive
to produce when everyone is in the hospital.
That's a great question.
And this is my thing. I'm like, I don't understand. Like, we have literally put certain people up on a stake to persecute them for silent protest because they are Black. Yet we have, I'm sorry, we have people that are walking around, white people with guns at their side, threatening, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, with guns on their side in the faces of police officers, completely ignoring the fact that they should be social distancing so they can get a haircut.
They want their haircut, girl. They
doesn't want a haircut. And to go to the grocery store for the mask.
Good. So when the coronavirus hits them, they have to go to the hospital, but then they won't even be able to get into the hospital because it will be so rampant with other people with COVID, so they can die looking somewhat decent.
Yet, in New York, let me be clear, in Brooklyn, New York, there have been 40 arrests, for people not wearing masks for social distancing. 35 of them were Black. Yet, I think it was Greenwich Village. If y'all saw the picture, and this wasn't an edited picture. This was the actual picture of them mulling around. White people mulling around, no social distancing, having the time of their life.
Oh yeah.
and not one arrest was made that day.
Nope.
But you can be out on your stoop in a house you own or live in and be arrested.
Yep. They're being arrested and they're stepping on their throats in Brooklyn. And then yet in Greenwich, wherever the hell it's called, they're sitting in the grass like they're sunbathing. There's even
they're hippies.
of a cop giving one of the lovely ladies, giving them a mask. Saying, "Oh, here you go, kind lady." I'm like, oh, okay. That's interesting.
Okay, Karen.
So,
right?
So I want to move into the next one because this one speaks to me highly because just a quick story.
Mm-hmm.
So I was working with my mindset coach, and we had come to the conclusion that I had a limited belief that I believed in order for me to be of value, I have to keep on producing things. I have to keep on working. You know this, Toshiba. You know, I'm a bit of a overworker. And she said that it's in me to think that for me to be of value, to be worthy, I have to overwork myself.
Oh, Lord.
So that brings me to our next question. Because she said it's actually, she's like, do you believe in past generational beliefs? Because she's like, and it's funny because she is Caucasian, but she had come to the conclusion that I developed this due to my ancestry. If you cannot produce, you are not worth.
You're not worth anything.
So how much Black excellence needs to exist for people to realize that Black men are emotional beings that should be cared for and loved? Because
in truth, how much more Black excellence?
Let's admit it. If Beyonce was not Beyonce,
right,
people would be treating her like
should have been some light-skinned girl from Texas.
Yeah, it's true.
They'd be like that country, whatever.
That country, not and this, that.
You know, like
treat her horrible.
How many LeBrons and Michael Jordans and Kobe's and I'll throw even Tiger Woods in there.
Yeah.
And Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
And Denzel Washingtons and Michelle have to exist in this world for them to realize that we are people. But the reality is, for a lot of people, those are the good Black people.
Well, because they had to go out of their way and overwork to create something. Black excellence to be worthy of not getting shot at. So my question is, because it's unfortunate that even for me, I'm kind of hitting myself because I'm like, well, if I don't do these things, if I don't work my ass off, if I don't, do these things, I won't be worth nothing.
You looked at
I wasn't this morning at 6 o'clock.
Went to go get a haircut.
They're doing diddly squat.
A lot of them are not winners. I'll say that, right?
A lot of them have no job.
So
it's Saturday. I woke up at 6 o'clock. I edited the 3rd edition of my book, wrote 2 hours in the 5th edition of my book, read a real estate book, did all of this stuff before like 11 o'clock.
Okay.
So, because for me, it was, I don't have time to waste. I don't have time to waste. I don't have time to win. While people are out there protesting, let's talk about Canada. They turned the Canadian flag upside down because they want an economy to open when people are dying and the others don't really have any money to spend. And they were so disrespectful. Let me go walk outside right now in downtown Toronto with a Canadian flag upside down and see how far I get.
Girl.
And
this is another subject, totally, but the world, everything that is happening right now in our government is due to greed.
It's all about money.
And it's all about money. No one cares that everyone, literally every day, 400 people on average are getting sick.
And no one cares.
And 10% of those people are going to die.
And most of those people are Black, including Canada. We're not going to include Canada because every time you see a healthcare worker who has passed away, they're either Black or a person of color.
Yes, and the thing is, a lot of the deaths right now, especially in Canada, are happening in these long-term healthcare facilities. And the last 3 big named ones were women of color, who we all know they ain't getting paid nothing, and they're treated like crap, and they don't even have the proper PPE.
Nope,
to be even dealing with this situation. And we still have not heard proper we haven't heard a proper response from the government.
And I heard
simply
too,
based on greed.
I heard too that they still won't disclose the races of people who are catching it. They won't disclose information on anything. That was a day ago. Because people have been saying, well, they want to know how much different races, what are the stats? They won't say.
And that's what I have to give America, okay? That's my new name, America, okay?
I love
This is where I'm at, because I am beyond, like, the Shannon Brown thing, I'm sorry, is still in my head, because I am very confused how a Black man does not have the right to protect his home, yet three white men can jump in a truck and record an incident of hunting down a Black man and struggling with him on the street and shooting him, yet you have white people coming out and saying, first of all, there is a GoFundMe page for these white people because we need to help them.
And a Facebook page says, you know, these God-fearing men and all of this. And I'm like, okay.
You love to bring God into things.
The problem is, and again, if we were to go into another show topic is, you know,
God-fearing.
You know, a friend put this up, and I said to her, I'm like, girl, don't make me start thinking. You know, can the oppressor and the oppressed have the same God? But anyways, that is another show. That's another show. You know, the whole thing about privilege. The idea, first of all, and you know where I got this idea from, very interesting. So V. Bosman, who is an entertainer, she's a singer. She even worked on Empire.
Yes.
Black woman, beautiful woman.
Yes.
And she took all these TikToks of, I would say, people that are allies. White people that are basically talking about put these guys in jail.
Yes.
Like, this is the perfect example of what white privilege looks like. You are yelling at a Black person, telling them to stop running and come to me because I am a white person. They were the one, like, they said, these guys are white supremacy. This is what white supremacy
that's what it looks like.
This is what white privilege looks like.
Yep.
And these guys need to be thrown in jail. And these are white men that are saying this.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm glad for the arrest. I'm glad that they get no bail. But at the end of the day, let's be real. There has to be a sentence. There has to be none of this, oh, well, you know, whatever kind of hogwash they want to pull from the sky.
It won't be
and send
hogwash.
these two back on their way with their guns to do it to someone else and destroy another family.
And the thing is, too, I remember back in the day, going back to this whole education thing, back in the day when they would have Black history, like Black history lessons, they only, you know, they only brought this course to Black people. And I'm like, I hope that schools now will start to see, hey, Black history should be a full-on subject that all y'all have to go take.
I wish they would, but you know what? When the world was still open, I was in an Uber going to an event, and it was a Jamaican guy, and we were talking, and he was saying how his son was the last group to have a Black history course
because they cut it out.
Yes. They cut it out.
And
it's just like they're trying to erase.
I am saying that the stories of Rosa Parks, the stories of Sandra Bland, all of those stories should be in the schools the same way how Anne Frank, the story of Anne Frank is a must.
Yep.
If you're going to pass English,
you have to read it.
Know the story. And I agree. We should know the struggles of Aboriginals. We should know the struggles of Jews, and we should know the struggles of Blacks.
Yes.
We should be educating. If we were educating,
then fools like those two wouldn't be on the street just popping shots at
and
every
we
Black
would have
person
more allyship. Right now, what we need is and this is another thing too that I have an issue with, is that we feel our voice doesn't matter, but it does. And we are supposed to pick up the power we have. It made me very angry to hear Michelle Obama say in her Becoming documentary that Black people didn't vote.
That's rough.
When they looked at the stats, they were like, wow, Obama is here because of the white vote, not the Black vote.
And that's the problem I have with us as our people. Like, we say we want change, and damn well, but we're not doing the voting. We're not doing the footwork.
We're not doing the things that make us worth. Our voices aren't being heard.
We're not saying there's thing. Well, God will take care of it. God ain't taking care of it. You gotta get your ass and go vote.
Here's the thing, and I'm gonna go back to, you know, my post, what I said, because I was having a conversation today, even within my own friend group, and, you know, they said to me, well, Toshiba, just because someone's not posting on social media, blah, 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 doesn't mean anything. I said, social media is only one platform. Let's be very, very clear. Silent means that your mouth is shut. There was no social media when Malcolm X was around. There was no social media when Martin was around. There was no social media here. Take it back to Dudley Laws here in Canada. There was hardly any social media when he was around. And God forbid, we hardly grew up on social media. I'm 40 years old. Social media is what, 20 years old? I don't know. Whatever it is, right? So I'm not just talking about using your voice. Your silence, listen, you can tout everything on social media and not do anything. Let me be very clear. I'm not a marcher. I'm not marching anywhere. Because I'm going to tell you something. If I march and I see somebody, I'm going to punch you right in your face.
And I'm like, power to them.
Yeah, that's just me. It's not me. I'm going to punch you right in your face. So the police come say any, like, I'm just be very clear. I'm going to punch you right in your face. That's because I know that about myself. I choose not to put myself in the front line of the situation, because I know enough about myself that my anger is going to put me in a situation where I will not be able to utilize my voice to be able to do the things that I do. So when I talk about people being silent, I talk about the fact, again, that when you're in rooms where I'm being talked about like a dog, I need you to stand up. When you're in a room where people only look like you, I need you to stand up. How you choose to spend your dollars, I need you to stand up and spend it in the community. So people want to love Black culture, but not give a fuck about Black people. Okay? So let's talk about it. So you want to profit off of us, but when it comes time to put your money back into our community, you're not doing that. When it comes time to even speaking out or tweeting or reposting, because if you're active on social media, repost.
Just say repeat and put on your Insta stories. Even that.
For me, something. Okay, so for me in my business, I will be honest, I'll be very transparent. So my business is one of mindset. I try my best to
stay positive.
As positive as I can. I try my best to be as uplifting and as encouraging as I can. So when it comes to things like these, it's like, how can I be creative and still be me?
And still have your rights.
I want to be able to let everyone know, my Black, white, Asian, everyone friends, that this is something that means something to me as, you know, a Black woman. So I have Insta stories, right?
Yeah.
And all I do is I'm like, wow, Sean King, this is really interesting. I like what you said here. I'm just going to post it on my Insta story so people know. When it was Ahmad's birthday, I was like, you know, put a photo of him, simply rest in peace, #conviction.
Simple things.
Does that
simple things? I don't need
you.
Thank you.
No one's
I don't need your fist in the air, okay? But I need you to, like Rihanna said, pull up. Right? Pull up and show support. Show how you spend your dollar. Show how your dollar is the big thing, because again, if you're gouging our community, but when it comes time to give back to causes, when it comes time to patronize our restaurants, when it comes to patronizing our products, when it comes time to a repost, a retweet, a this or anything, you do nothing. So again, social media is one platform. And for me, I'm going to give you a side eye if you're constantly on social media and choose to say nothing. Because it affects your brand.
Nothing.
Okay? You have a brand, we all have a brand. Yeah. Get it? But by Garcia retweeting or reposting a Sean King, it does not affect her brand. She said nothing, but putting it does not hurt. So if you're a constant social media person and the only time you do not speak up is when it comes to race relations, I'm watching you. Let's be very clear.
Well,
I'm very much watching you.
There's some celebrities that I thought would even do that, even do like a repost, and they didn't. But then you have Kim Kardashian running with the bloodstained banner.
Yeah, and
you have other races
Tracy Ellis
running
Ross,
with it, and it just
Ellis
kind of
Ross,
makes you scratch
Kerry
your
Washington.
head.
You know, these are people that could have easily been like, well, you know, I work with Dove and I don't want Dove to be cutting my check. But no,
they don't care.
They are talking about it. They are out there.
Because this is hitting hard,
that we make fun of every day. She is out there.
Yeah.
She, you know, as soon as the world opens up, we know she'll be going to Washington to get someone else out of jail.
At least she's doing something.
And I'm like, well, guys, I mean, she's doing something that we should
we're not doing.
Perhaps be trying
Thank
to
you.
How many
doing
of you have a law degree and you haven't done any pro bono work for one of the brothers?
This is what I'm saying. This is this type of silence I'm talking about. So some people were taking my post literally, and that's fine. If you want to take it literally, that's on you.
Like a nerve in them.
Okay, but figuratively, if you just made a point, if you have an opportunity to do something, to show up somewhere, to be a part of something that advances, I don't need, like, at the end of the day, I don't know what everyone does, but I damn well know, again, when I see people, there are certain people in our community who have brands that choose to be silent because it doesn't resonate with their brand, but they'll talk about everything under the sun.
Everything else.
Okay, so then you compare these black, I'm going to talk about black women, to a Kim Kardashian, who at the end of the day, what I appreciate about Kim is she said to the world, I'm raising 4 black kids.
Yeah.
If I don't give a crap about black issues, what's that saying to my black kids?
Thank you.
So
let me know about her black
husband.
husband.
Doesn't see
and she's
gray.
showing it through
they
actions.
See black and they see white. That's all they see.
I mean, she's showing it through actions, and you know, we have to realize that, you know, we need more than just each other. We can't be sitting here and saying,
no.
Oh, well, only all the poor black people really understand. I'm like, no, we need all the rich, black and white and Chinese,
every damn race,
and every community,
everyone.
We need everyone to rally to black situations, all of them.
But here's my problem. The problem I'm having, and I put it on, I think you guys saw it, and this woman spoke it because I think I've said it before.
Oh, yeah.
And again, Brianna said it, pull up. We will pull up. If there is an LGBTQ thing and they need equal rights, black women are pulling up. If there is white women need help in their feminism movement, black women are pulling up. If you're talking about a disability thing, black women are pulling up. We need pulling up for everybody. And but when we need something, where you at?
And that's
nowhere to be found.
And this is something, and
we are nowhere.
And that's one of the things that I'm all about, because I'm like, you know, we are always here to support.
To mammy everybody. That's what we do.
Yes,
we mammying everybody.
We naturally want to nurture people. We want to help other people
to do that
and leave ourselves dry and done.
Unfortunately, people are not doing the same for us. And this is why I am in full belief that we need to do the things that we need to do to get our voices heard.
Oh, yeah.
Because people think, again, because we usually take a bad and turn it good, people are like, they'll be all right. You know, Dave Chappelle is going to make fun of it and they're just going to forget about it.
Yeah, we'll make a meme.
Stop doing that. And we need to come up and be serious and be like, look, you know, Black Lives Matter is just not some hashtag.
Well, I'm glad you said that too, because even when we were a few episodes before, we were talking about this. I mean, you mentioned something about Black Twitter and how we like to take our own situation. You know, Black people love to take our own bad situations and make a joke out of it.
It's great quality, but it ain't helping us.
But it's not funny
because
what's funny about being shot down like a dog?
SNL, they're gonna take a rap song and put it over it, and then glamorize it and put it online and just put it on loop and laugh at it.
It was a sad
because
reason.
That's what they do. And we need to kind of stop that and say, okay, wait, guys, this isn't funny anymore. These are lives. This is a dad. This is a mom. This is a father. This is, you know, a sister. This is a young man that had dreams, who was going to do great things. And he was killed simply because of his color, simply because of his race. He did not do anything wrong.
There's nothing funny about it.
Pulling a video of this now.
You're not gonna make a TikTok
Tootsie slide or whatever and saying, haha, this is funny.
The gumbos are hitting him to the beat of the song. What's so friggin' funny about that?
But
that's something
you just said something that I think is very, 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 very interesting. It's the reality of it is that when these things happen to us, the interesting thing I found is how they try to re-victimize the victim when they're Black by pulling out any old something from 19 how long, okay? Could have happened when they were a child, okay? Okay? And they be pulling things out like, well, you guys think this victim is so innocent in 19 this and that, and you're like, but
really?
but the white people who commit crimes, the man who shot people down in Vegas, the man who just shot people down in Nova Scotia, the worst mass killing in the history of Canada, how did they spin it?
Mental health.
Oh, it was mental.
Mental illness.
Okay.
He was sick. He wasn't mentally well. He didn't have control of himself.
Okay. So the white people, when they commit crimes,
it's a mental thing.
Are mentally ill, they're unstable, something happened in their life, there was a trigger. But when Black people are victims of crime committed on them by white people, they find a way to discredit us, to make us continue to look less than human. So, and then people want me to sit around and say nothing about that. People want us to sit around and not call people out who choose not to say something, because that is a problem. It is a problem when we continue to be re-victimized after being victimized. But white people, okay, are looked upon as sickly because they're so fragile, apparently, that something went off in their brain, and it's okay that they can take a shotgun out of what the Mirage Hotel or whatever it is and shoot people down just enjoying their good life, or they can get up because their girlfriend broke up with them or whatever happened to the Nova Scotia one and go around and shooting people pretending to be an RCMP officer, but they were sick in the brain. But a man going out, okay, for a jog was a burglar. A woman who stopped and didn't stop at a stop sign, she ends up dead. All kinds of bad things can go bad. No, Trayvon Martin didn't look like a good kid. He's probably bad because he's smoking weed.
Arm was smarter than an iced tea.
Yeah.
That was his
Lord
weapon.
knows all the horrible things he'll commit.
What was he gonna do? Throw Skittles at people?
I'm very, so it doesn't matter what we do. Again, Shannon Brown was in his own home, enjoying his own home. Somebody breaks into his home. He shoots at them with his registered rifle, and that is a problem. Yet you can be a white men who decide to get up, go into trucks, turn on their phones, laugh and record a Black man being shot down, and it takes 2 months. Not 2 hours. No. It took 2 months. And the reason they even got arrested is because the idiot lawyer sent it out thinking that it would vindicate them.
He said, don't go arrest them. The DA told the police, no, leave them alone, don't arrest them. And for those that don't believe it, there are pictures now online of her and the father hanging out buddy, best friends. So she was like, don't go arrest my friends. They're my friends. Don't go arrest them. And this is the DA. This is the person that is responsible for protecting her county, her
except for Black lives.
And did you vote for her? If you did, you need to go call.
Get her backside fire.
And tell her to be fired. Tell her we want a resignation, or else I'm gonna call here every day at this time and go on back for a full-on hour. I will sit outside of
make your life
a
living nightmare,
and I will bang tambourine and play horns until you get rid of her.
Come on, man.
Okay, so they expect us not to be angry. No. So we're not supposed to show any emotion. We're supposed to sit and so for me, it does bother me when I see people who sit around and do nothing. Do nothing. Say nothing, do nothing, as if, again, this isn't a thing. Like black culture is such a great thing, but Black culture can't happen with dead Black people.
Thank you.
That whole Black culture that you're enjoying, that amazing music and food and sports and us jumping around and shooting basketballs and getting concussions.
We're gonna be like, we're extinct. We're getting there anyway. We're slowly becoming extinct. Because we're like unicorns now. We're getting shot at for no damn reason.
You said people are putting foots in necks because we're not social distancing. And there's no problem with that. And people think, oh no, I'm just gonna sit back and say nothing or do nothing or not even acknowledge it. We're supposed to be like, yes, you're my ally. You're an ally who chooses to, again, it's not what you say when I'm in the room, it's what you say when I'm not. Because I'm not about to do a PowerPoint presentation for you about how not to be effing racist.
I think we should be beyond that now.
Too. And I did say this to someone Friday. Yes, yesterday I said to them, I was like, look, it's actually not my responsibility to teach someone that does not look like me why they should respect me as a human being. It is not my responsibility.
No, it is not.
It is actually the responsibility of the people that took care of you, your caregivers, and you to go out of your way and say, I want to better understand this nationality, this race. That is on me. So I'm going to go learn. That is not my responsibility. It's not.
No, it's not.
Because I didn't have to do that to understand you.
Okay.
Like I didn't.
No.
I didn't ask you, please put together a presentation as to why I should not show hate towards you.
Yeah.
But we're expected to do that. We're expected to be in rooms and explain to people how to treat us, which is basic human decency. Because somehow the color of my skin makes me different. Somehow me running while black. There needs to be a disclaimer on me. Because I'm running while, me walking around while black, me just enjoying the air while black, me leaving a New Year's Eve party, me driving in a car, there was a black man who was taking care of a disabled young white man, who the police stun gun him or whatever he did because the young white man was going crazy and he was trying to help. So I am not about to give you a PowerPoint presentation of how to treat me like a human being because I'm fucking human being. Like I am so angry. Like I am so listen, this has been going on for years and years and years, and I just think I've gotten to the point where I'm like, this is ridiculous. Not only are we fighting against getting sick in a pandemic, we're literally constantly every day fighting for our lives. Every single day. If the disease is gonna get us, it's walking down the street.
One of the two.
I can't leave if the disease doesn't kill me outside, someone else might, just because I'm black. Do we understand how profound that is? Do you understand the fear that I have as a mother? And I'm raising a young black girl. My daughter's 5'11". When she has a hoodie on at night in the winter, she could be a young black man.
Yep.
And I don't care if I live in Toronto, Canada. It ain't no different.
It doesn't change.
No, because it doesn't change because
it doesn't change.
Again, and I always, I hate that I have to say it, but white supremacy is sort of like, it's literally the foundation of a lot
of countries
of this world and a lot of what we do. I mean, the very reason why we work 125% versus working 100%. Is simply based on the fact that we have to, because if we don't, then we are either seen as stupid or dumb or aggressive or too sensitive or too whatever. Get rid of them.
We're too something.
Right. And we have to get rid of them. Like, so we are always to the point where I'm almost like used to it. I'm like, whatever. Like,
sadly,
therein lies the problem, right? Therein lies the problem that it is our burden to constantly bear, again, to show people how we should be treated as basic human beings. It is apparently it is our responsibility to teach you that you do not hunt black men down in the street and shoot them for jogging when you damn well know there had been no robberies. You do not shoot little black boys. as they walk down the neighborhood carrying Snapple in their hand. You do not strangle Black women in a cell and even arrest her because she had a failure to stop or signal or whatever the hell it is. Okay, you do not shoot a man in a car with his pregnant girlfriend there because he said, I'm sorry, I'm going to go into my glove compartment. You don't do, why do I need to give you a PowerPoint presentation about that? Why do I need to tell you? Because you do not need to tell me as a Black person to treat you as a white and Asian, a Latina, or whomever you are person like a basic human being. So why is it always our responsibility to show people how to treat us? Somehow, this alone, this thing alone, this is it.
Thank you.
We haven't opened our mouth. We haven't said anything offensive. No. We haven't done anything but walk around while being Black.
Yep.
And when you speak out about it, you're angry. When you call other people out, you're being insensitive because you shouldn't be calling anybody. No, I'm gonna call out anybody at damn well, please.
Thank you.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna call it out. Because at the end of the day, I'm not saying you need to be on the picket fence. I'm not, because I'm not. I'm not going to do that. No. Again, I know myself. I'm just not going to do that because I am Malcolm and Angela Davis and Asafa Shakur. Like, I feel no way. Like, so to make sure that I can still funnel my Black money in my Black community so we can build Black wealth so we don't have to deal with this stuff, I don't do that. But I do use my platform and my voice and my dollar, the almighty dollar, and I choose how I spend it and what I do with it to ensure. I choose how I recycle my money. I choose not to just recycle it once through my community because I know that by doing so, I'm giving away the most important thing we have, which is our currency.
That's it.
Yeah.
So that is how I choose to speak out. And I make myself very vocal in those areas. So if, again, you as a ally, and you could be a Black person, and I'm still okay. If you choose not to say anything or act in a manner, or you are in a room where people are discrediting your race, and you choose to stay silent in fear of whatever, you're one of them.
Exactly so.
Okay, I remember working with a young lady who was Jewish, and she was telling me a story because she's like, I don't have a traditional Jewish last name. And she happened to walk into a room where people were saying disparaging things about Jewish people, not knowing she was Jewish. And she's like, Toshiba, I was so pissed off. She's like, I basically cursed everybody out. I can only imagine like a white woman cursing people out. The image in my head is very funny. But she was like, she could have hid in the shadows.
Yeah.
They didn't know she was Jew. But she was like, I spoke out because I refuse to let people disparage my people. And it is the same for you as a Black person, a white person. Do not tell me you love Black people, but you will not speak up when things are being said about us. When you go into the grocery store and you see something happen, when you're in the hair store, when you're in your place, wherever you are, and you see that someone is being treated unfairly or things are being said about people just because of the color of their skin, and you choose to stay silent, I have a problem with you. I don't need you putting stuff on social media.
The person that's causing the issue. You are no better. Not 1 damn percent. You're not one. You're no better. You're part of the problem.
Because my mother would not be in my little frail mother would not be. My mother's far from frail, so I said she's frail. But she would not be in a grocery store and see a little white kid or a little Asian kid get harassed by somebody and not say anything. She just wouldn't. My daughter wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. So if you're going to see them harassing little Black kids or doing something to Black people and you go, oh, well, not my business, you are part of the problem.
You're part of the problem.
You're part of the problem.
You're part of the problem. You are. You're going to sit there silent and just watch this thing constantly go on and on. You don't say one thing, not one, for all the names that were mentioned, and there's a hell of a lot more names. And from people that I know who are this, and they haven't said one thing about any of the things that have happened. Not one. They just keep on going as if they're in La La Land. There's some kind of fairy tale.
You know, like.
But they'll post on everything else. That's my problem.
Yeah. A new movie comes out. Oh, did you this new movie?
Thank you. Okay. If your primary source of advertising is social media, listen, My best friend made a very good point. She's like, Toshiba, listen, not everybody that posts on social media is woke, and people that who don't post on social media, it doesn't mean that they're not doing anything. I completely agree. I said, though, the issue I'm taking with people who do constantly, every day, you're seeing them posting some irrelevant crap or crap about their business and shit I really could care about. But when it comes to using their platform of 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 followers to even retweet, to make mention, to make a clip, to put a video, they do nothing. And the only time they don't speak is when it comes to race relations. I'm side-eyeing you.
Yeah.
I can't live with you. Because you're telling me, even as a black person, if you're a black person or white person, or so forth, I'm side-eyeing DJs in our city who make money in black parties, but I've said nothing.
Yeah, because this is another thing too. I do want to make sure that we highlight that, you know, civil rights is not just per se, you can only be involved if you are black. That is not true. No. Some great civil rights movement people are actually white, are actually Indian, are actually, and they're out here side by side. They were even side by side with people like Martin Luther King or Malcolm X saying,
they were out there recently with the whole pipeline thing that was happening.
With the Aboriginal.
Yeah, they're out there side by side with them.
See, you know, civil rights is for everyone. And
actually,
when it works for everyone.
Thank you.
Injustice.
Equality is a beautiful thing if we can get it right. But the issue is that everyone is out here saying, well, it's not really my responsibility because I'm a privileged black person. I'm Wakanda. So I don't need to really worry about that because it doesn't really apply to me.
Okay, John Legend. Remember that time when he said, oh, was it him? I think he said, I don't see color. Someone said something stupid. I think it was him. And everyone was just like, what? You don't see?
No,
it wasn't him. That was, okay. I take it back, John Legend.
That wasn't
him. So we take it back, John Legend.
Take it back, John Legend.
That was
Here's the thing. I did something interesting. And I've done it before, but for some reason I said yesterday, I'm going to Google the terminology white on white crime. You know what I got?
No.
Fucking nothing. That's what I got.
All you got was cricket sounds.
I fucking nothing. Because there's no such thing as white on white crime. As there's no such thing as black on black crime. As there's no such thing as Asian on Asian crime. You want to know why? Because the statistics will show, and you're enough of a mindset coach to say, people actually kill more people that are in their community than outside of it. So therefore, if you are in a radius where you're in a community of people who look like you, generally, you're going to, if there is a murder, it's going to be in that radius. This is why profilers generally are like, guess what? When they're profiling the serial killer, the rapist or whatever, they're like, they generally live in this vicinity, blah, 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 blah. Well, if the vicinity is full of white people, that's who they're going to rape, bludgeon, kill, and so forth. If you live in a community and a neighborhood and you're a gangster and they're full of black people, well, that's generally who you interact with. And therefore, unfortunately, that's generally who you kill. So therefore, there's all of this stuff on black crime. So when people want to come out and talk, well, we need to be concerned about black people killing black people, talk to me about the white people killing each other. So can we talk about them? Can we talk about the white man again who decided to take a shotgun? Because there's no such thing. But we should accept that there is black on black crime. Black on black crime does not exist. Because if you're going to write on black crime, please give me the encyclopedia version of white on white crime. Because right now, all I see is a leaflet. Okay, I see a leaflet.
A leaflet.
Because there's no such thing.
I really do think we need to, the buzzwords and all of these things, they need to stop because
black
it's
on
actually
black crime
messing with how we justify things, you know,
that's the media's
you know, the media has a lot to do with it. You know, bringing up, you know, the horrible shooting that happened in Las Vegas. Why are we not calling this man a terrorist? Why are we calling?
Because he's white. White people don't get to be terrorists. They get to be sick.
Troubled, you know. So
yeah, his childhood. His mom didn't.
Same kid with Sandy Hook.
Right.
Oh, he was
like,
troubled as a
you
young
know,
man.
why are
Yeah, no friend.
why are we using these
Mhm.
excuses for people? Why are we allowing these things to happen? Guns. Why is it okay to be
Why is it
carrying
okay
a
for you
gun
to
of
carry
that
a rifle
nature
by your side?
in your
And go storm
Going to
into
church, like
government
going to the
buildings,
supermarket?
asking them to open up so you can go get a haircut.
yeah, like
What the hell
for
is
me,
that?
For me, I blame first and foremost.
And they
I'm
don't
sorry, I
see
blame the
anything
government.
wrong.
I blame
Like,
the government, and I blame anyone that didn't decide that I need to do something. I have to either support
mhm.
the kind of government that I want to see, or I need to make some phone calls to show my anger. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know. You know, a lot of people
But
right
you
now will
can't
say
sit
you're not
back
American,
and do nothing.
and
Well,
that's
yeah,
fine.
we're not Americans,
But,
so
you know, and I'm not. However, I
That's
am
all right.
a person that goes out and votes. I am
Yep,
a
I exercise my
person
right.
that puts my money to what I want to support. If I want to support a Black woman's business, I will go through
Most
all the vendors.
definitely.
I will go through all the vendors
Search.
at a show, and I will be like, "Hello, young lady. Hi, tell me about your business." "Oh, this is my business." And as soon as they say that, I'm already picking
I'll
up things
find
and
something.
looking at something to buy.
I don't care what it is. I'll find something
Because-
within that person to buy it from
Right,
them.
because we're putting our money, and this is the problem, is that we are, again, yes, social media, get on there, do what you can, but also let us find our power and live in it and become empowered. Because if we don't become empowered, the judges are never going to look at our stories and say, you know what, these two guys need to be convicted. They need to
A
go
real
to jail.
conviction.
They are murderers. But if we are not out here making up
Noise.
like, we have
However
to remember what
the
happened
noise
in
is.
LA burnt to the ground because enough of us said
Enough is enough.
This
injustice.
This is injustice.
Rodney King, okay? They burnt that
They burnt
shit
Los
to
Angeles
the ground.
down.
Burnt the city down.
The whole of Los Angeles was up in flames. It looked like hell on earth.
But
Okay?
it was a
Because they
reason.
had
And there
had
was a damn
enough,
good reason.
of
was
what
enough,
was happening
man.
to it.
And this is
And
my
we have
thing.
to
We have
remember.
And it
to
seems like, so what, we just set more fires? Like,
Listen, I feel like we've been paying for OJ's acquittal
girl,
since 19 how long? I feel like white people are like, they got one with OJ, so we just gonna keep killing them. Like, I'm not even making this lightly. Like,
Yeah.
since 1994 or whatever, when OJ got acquitted, I feel like they already had one. They got one. They got OJ. And so therefore we can just keep doing what they're doing until they get another one. Because none of these people are being held accountable for their actions. And I'm cognizant of the fact that the time is going. I'm actually going to, when this stops, do you mind? I'm going to log into my actual account. And can you guys log into the Not Your Typical Girl Talk? Because I think we have more to say and I want a bigger audience. But anyways, like, no one's being held accountable for killing us.
no. They're being praised for it.
And this is my issue.
They're getting a slap on the wrist if you're lucky.
My thing is
They're
that
getting nothing.
we need to start looking at that and saying, okay, what is the foundation of that? The foundation of that is not just saying, oh, another one bites the dust and walking away. That is not the solution. The solution is that we need to become empowered and stand in our power and do something. I know protesting isn't my thing either, but let's admit it. These people get scared when a bunch of us get together, say something. Even if we said,
mobilize,
peace and saying we shall overcome, something will come of it.
Even if we went up for a barbecue.
And I know social distancing, so I'm not suggesting that that's what we do. But, you know, I'm not saying let's
don't do it because there's stuff in your neck.
But, you know, a simple, video, a simple social media campaign that any company could do. They could say, okay, you're a black guy, you're a black guy, you're a black guy, and get all the black men together and say, you are a black man, and have just a video of black men.
Remember when Trayvon was
show all of, because we keep on looking at the picture and we don't see that could be my dad. That could have been my brother. That could have been my son.
And that was what
my
they wanted to do with Trayvon.
Trayvon with the hoodie.
With their hoods on. It said, I am Trayvon Martin. To get people to understand, look, this isn't just some random kid. That was someone's son, someone's friend, someone's daughter, someone's brother.
A good student.
He was a good student minding his own business.
And I remember when Barack Obama got very teary-eyed about it. And people were offended, saying,
"Oh, why is he crying for? Why?"
Because he said, you know, Jamal looks like he could have been my kid, and it's true. Like, he looked like him. It's like, this could have been my son. If I had a son, he would look like Trayvon.
Yeah, definitely.
But we shouldn't get offended when the president talks about grabbing women's pussies.
No, that's okay.
That's okay.
That's all right.
That's fine.
We have to just let that slide because he's white.
And we shouldn't get offended when he said, these are good people. It's counting me down for 26 seconds, so I'm going to go. But when people are getting mowed down in the street, and he says, but they're good people that run cars into people, we shouldn't be offended then?
No.
But people will get offended because a Black man in power shows emotions about little black kids being killed in the street. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to log off and jump into my account because it's going to cut me off.